What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 39 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today we've got the end of season live com. It's a triple header, and we'll hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be securing ourselves a Champions League spot today. That is very much the aim. As you can see, just having a quick peek at the calendar, we have got 3 games over the next 8 days, all away from home. It's going to be tricky, and I thought today we'd do something a little bit different. So these 3 matches we are going to do 100% live. I will talk in between the matches. We can go over some little bits as they pop into my head. And then tomorrow we will do kind of a larger end of season recap. And I can also answer any questions you have for me. So if there's anything that you would like to know, any burning questions, desires, just things you'd like to see pertaining to the save game, leave them down in the comments. Thumbs up the stuff that you want to see if you see it mentioned in the comments. And yeah, I'm going to take just a slightly different approach for the end of season episode because of how things have lined up here. As you can see, we have played 3 games less than, well, I was about to say everyone else, but no, we've got 3 games left of the season. Everyone else seems to have 2 games left. It's a bit weird how the fixtures have run out, but of course that is partially down to our Champions League run. You can see, since you were last here, we've actually played 3 games and we won them all relatively convincingly. A 3-1 win against Everton, playing a 4-3-3 with a DM. A similarly good result as well against Sheffield United. In this game, Ricketts and Irk getting goals. And in fact, Irk got Young Player of the Month for April, which I think is the second or third time maybe this year that he's achieved that. If we just look at awards, we can probably see here. Yeah, he won the Young Player of the Month for February, and he's now also won it for April. So he's having a pretty blooming good year. Definitely a contender for the PFA Young Player of the Year award, you would imagine. He was critical in both of those wins. And, well, we started off this month with a win against West Ham. It was a month ago. Went back to the 4-2-3-1 for this one. Ricketts, Silva and Amlo with goals. And what is pleasing is, of course, the wins, albeit against slightly lesser opposition, but also the fact that we've managed to do that whilst wrestling with a fair few injuries. Sampaio has been out, obviously, for a fairly long period of time, although he's getting closer towards full fitness. Seka as well has had an injury. You can see he's still building up his fitness. Tassos and Gonzalez have also been out injured. So between Seka, Gonzalez and Tassos, I've had my first 3 choice right attacking mids all injured at the same time, which is, as you can see here, leaving it up to Adrian Smith to fill those boots. Additionally, Van Dijk has had a long-term injury. He broke some ribs in the win against Everton. So it has been a pretty depleted squad that's been stringing together the results today. It's going to be very interesting to see how we fare, obviously, going into these games today. And, well, you know what? Let's get into this game against Leeds. Our final game of the season against Man City is the most difficult of these games. It's worth noting that if we can win the first 2, which we should, that would, if I'm not mistaken, guarantee us Champions League football of some kind. So maybe this will just be a really calm end of season episode. Maybe it will be a mad panic at the. I'm hoping it's going to be the former. You can see here, just looking at the team, I'm going to be playing the 4-2-3-1 today. A few slightly unusual names in the mix. You can see here, Hernandez still playing at right back. Of course, he's played here for a little kind of extended run really this season. He's actually made 12 starts in the league this season. So make no mistake, he has been a regular, albeit not a particularly great performer. Also, Tudor. Remember this guy? Signed at the start of the year from Romania for £7 million. He has actually made 13 appearances in the league. Only 7 have been starts. He's had issues with injuries this year, but because of the shuffle that is going on, he finds himself in new territory in the middle. Elsewhere, obviously, Smith is out on the right-hand side, and Ricketts is going to be playing as a shadow striker today. I feel like Ricketts is a player who, against the bigger teams, I've not played nearly as often as you might expect, but I have just been preferring Smith's defensive ability in at centre mid over Owen Ricketts' ability. Make no mistake though, he's played a lot of football this year and he's put in some really good performances. He's been in great form and he's been scoring a lot of goals from range. If he could do that for us today, I would be a very happy bunny. But anyway, let's get into this game, shall we? Leeds United away from home. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been the end of last season. There was an end of season episode in the Premier League. Well, Leeds meant something, where Leeds was like a game we really needed to do well in. I'm hoping we can, well, mimic the success. I'm now remembering what happened, everyone. We ended up in the Europa League spots, didn't we? Yeah, I think, did we slip up against Leeds? I've played Leeds at the end of a season episode and it ended in disappointment. Let's hope today that's not going to be the case. You can see their team here. They've got a few real players still in their ranks, the likes of Tanganga and Vasquez at the back. As for us, well, it's a fairly standard team for us. Not too much in the way of rotation needed. A few new players in the mix, I suppose. And looking at the league table here, a win here would take us up to third with a game in hand on both Tottenham and Man City, which would be a rather good position to be in. But of course, knowing that we've got that Man City game to end the season, it's definitely in the back of my mind that we have to get results here. We need to first two games, let's put in good performances as well. Smith nearly scores a free kick. He actually scored a couple, if I'm not mistaken, against Everton from free kicks, which is a little unusual. I feel like direct free kicks, at least anecdotally speaking, don't really go in Football Manager 2021, at least not to the extent that I would expect. Maybe I just have rubbish free kick takers, I don't know. But anyway, you can see here, early on, starting the game well, over 60% of possession, a few bookings, one for either team. And obviously, as you may have noticed, we are playing the 4-2-3-1, although I have been, experimenting with the 4-3-3. Played that for 2 of our last 3 games, but going back to what we know, just with some of the injuries, it made more sense to go with this, as AMLO just marauds on through. And just does AMLO things, everyone. 31 goals for the season. Hernandez is awarded an assist. That's one of those goals where I feel like the assist just shouldn't really count. There shouldn't be an assist. He's brought the ball from inside his own half, albeit on the counter-attack from a set-piece. Erk's there in the middle screaming for it, but AMLO decides to just go on his lonesome. Tucks it away, bottom corner. And, he's still got his shooting boots on, everyone. That takes him to in excess, I believe, of 30 for the season. I think it's now 31 goals. If I can remember correctly. Anyway, Tudor with the ball here. We've got that one early goal. A second would help me relax significantly. Feels like a while since I've watched us win convincingly in a live com, but this feels like a chance as Calafiori has it on the left-hand side, pulls it in. Oh my word, a mad scramble on the line. It was Ricketts with the shot. It was blocked away for a corner. Maybe we can make something of this corner still as Silva and Piotr were under it. Goes out for a goal kick, and I think that's going to be all she wrote in terms of that chance. But as you can see, looking at the stats here, 9 shots to their 0. Maybe a little bit of a disappointment that we've not hit the target more regularly, but we are massively on top in this game. This is the kind of situation where I'd like us to score whilst we're on top. There's nothing worse than dominating a half of football. Second half, they come up and come back in the game, start performing and get a goal back that just feels a little unjust. At the same time, I feel like I can only really praise the players here. It's been a good performance so far, a performance that, if it stays as it is, would see us up to third. And if we could, just get European football this year in terms of Champions League football, that's the aim. The board minimum expectation was lower than that at the start of the year in January. I did promise them more. I promised them the world. I said Champions League football will do that. And it has looked in jeopardy for a little while, but we've got an opportunity, you'd have to say, with the 3 games left, as we're just surrendering possession. Williams bringing it forward for them. It's still only 1-0, everyone. I don't like it. I also don't like seeing Tudor flying for tackles like that. Slightly tempted to take him off as Wagner Gabriel comes in and squares it, and that's what I feared, everyone. That is what I feared. Williams with the goal at the back post. 50th goal of the season, or not of the season, of his career even for him. Tudor put in a tackle, but it broke free. And then Wagner Gabriel drifts inside, pulls it back. Williams is there to tuck it away. That's a disappointing goal to concede. Right, both our centre mids are on bookings, which I don't like. So I'm going to make a double change here. I'm going to bring in Matty and I'm going to bring in Dr. Medj. Dr. Medj has been a bit meh this year. Is that controversial? Of course, Barcelona showed a load of interest in him in January. Apparently, they're still interested. There is a small part of me that feels like maybe I would sell him. I feel like he might be getting close to his potential. He's not really improved in a little while, is what I'm saying. Also, Matty, going to come in at box-to-box midfielder. I feel like this guy is our James Milner. He plays a little bit everywhere for us, which I feel a bit bad for him about. 30 games at centre mid, 14 at left back, 2 at right attacking mid. Yeah, he's had a bit of an adventure this year in terms of his positions, but today, box-to-box midfielder, that's the task at hand. I could swap him and Dr. Medj, but do I want to swap? I am actually going to swap. I've changed my mind. I say this. There's 20 minutes left. We need more. There's not actually a great deal of difference between them, but I think Dr. Medj is just a little better going forward than Matty. I mean, 10 minutes left. Is it really going to be one of those games? I feel like we have a lot more to gain from a win here, but a draw here, and I'm pretty sure it will go down to the final game of the season. which is not what I want with Man City on the line. I've got one last sub, Steve Secker or Marcelo. You know what? I'm bringing in Stevie Secker out on the right-hand side, and I'm going to go for the win here. I'm going to go for the win because I think a win is... I think a draw or a loss, and we will have to get a result against Man City. It's almost... This is a better chance to win than at Man City. I say all of this. Absolutely nothing is happening but Stevie Secker on off the bench. 4 minutes left. Whips it in. Piotr heads just wide of the post. That was the chance. That was the opportunity. 4 minutes of added time just trickling away here. It's a game that we've dominated. And it's just not really worked out for us there. Look at that. How's it finish 1-1? Am I allowed to be salty? I'm going to tell the players I'm happy there were some positives. But we had chances. We didn't take them. If we win our next game, we're in an okay spot. But we would still need to... Well, not lose to Man City to guarantee ourselves a Champions League spot on the final day. This is obviously assuming that we win the next game, which currently, maybe that's expecting a little bit too much from us here. Anyway, you can see here, Watford lost to Tottenham elsewhere. Man City did draw against Burnley, so that was one result that went in our favour today. But anyway, we've not got long to prepare. We have got Watford in a few days. And one thing that I've not really talked about this season is the fact that I have a lot of players asking for new contracts, everyone. There are a lot of players hungry for new deals. Apparently David Lind wants a new deal at the club. The good news is, at the moment, Manny Grimes hasn't been quite as influential, but Piotr has managed to talk people out of it quite a lot. Manny, can you solve this for me? I have asked him to talk. What are we doing, Football Manager? He's going to try. Can you solve it for me, Damani? You can't. Right, David, you want a new contract? He knows it's a bad idea. Look, mate, there's 2 games left of the season. It's a big time, David. I don't have time to be dealing with your money issues. I say this, they're not really issues. He's got plenty of money. Also, apparently, make this what you will, Wolves are keen on signing Luis Navio. I mean, of course they are. Who wouldn't be keen on signing Luis Navio? But in his mission to become a left-back, he's becoming quite good, everyone. So it's going to have to be a monumental bid for me to even consider selling him. I did just spot a news inbox item there telling me that we have qualified for the Europa League. I don't want to be in the Europa League this year. Does anyone want to be... I mean, teams do want to be in the Europa League, right? But, like, in the situation we're in now, if we end up in the Europa League, it is nothing short of a disappointment. That is just a certainty. Okay, we've got Watford up next. Now, Watford aren't very good, but I would have said the exact same thing about Leeds United. No disrespect to Leeds. I mean, look at that. Leeds are in 17th. You can see, actually, Newcastle, Norwich, Cardiff, the team's going down. I don't think there's any massive surprise there. I know Norwich have kind of yo-yoed around in this save game. Back when we were at kind of Lincoln and Boston, they were struggling away in the Premier League. They were actually, at one point, I think, a regular of European football, Norwich, but they have entered this kind of yo-yo phase again. A bit like Norwich in real life, I suppose. Anyway, we've got a game to play today. It's a midweek game. It's probably the only game going on midweek, I imagine. Indeed it is. Everyone else has played 37 games. A win here, it would put us in a good spot because it would put the pressure on Tottenham in their final game to go out there and have to win by whatever margin we win by today, +1. I mean, their final game of the season is against Leeds away, which is a game that we couldn't win, but Tottenham have already beaten Watford. So what that tells me is if we truly deserve to be in the top 4, we need to win this game here. In terms of team selection, I'm very tempted to go back to the 4-3-3 that I was using slightly earlier that was working quite well. This is actually how I lined up, which, if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you will notice David Lind is playing centre defensive mid there. Have been training him in it. I feel like he could do a pretty good job as a centre defensive mid, kind of a more of an anchor point. And of course, without the centre attacking mid of the 4-2-3-1, I think an anchor is needed because I'm expecting these two players to get up the field significantly more. Elsewhere with this team, obviously, a little bit of asymmetry going on. Erk going to be pushing higher up the pitch. Smith on the right. Just looking at it, Tassos is back from his injury, but lacking match sharpness. He's not played very well this year. It doesn't feel like it's worth playing him. Van Dijk still injured. Gonzalez still injured. It has to be said, we are missing some pretty critical players here at a very, very critical part of the season, it feels like. But we're going to play Lind out of position. He's going to have to get over it. He did a perfectly good job in 2 of the wins that we had playing this system. And I feel like away from home, just having that extra man in the midfield can help. Apparently a win here can guarantee us Champions League. According to the Team Talk, I don't know if that's necessarily right. It doesn't go to head against Tottenham, I don't think. It goes to goal difference, does it not? I'm now doubting if I know the Premier League rules or not. I mean, look, we can worry about them. We can worry about all the permutations. We have to win this game. They're hitting the woodwork after a minute. How do you think I feel? I'm panicking, everyone. I'm shook. Akin whips the ball in from a set piece. And Russ Piper's there. Is this about to happen? Is this about to happen? I mean, the Leeds result was unfortunate. We've been slow to get going in this game. Not what I want to see to start. I don't want to go into that Man City game knowing that we absolutely have to win. But right now, a goal down, we're going to need to show a bit of a fight back. As I said, Tottenham beat this team. Tottenham beat them 2-1. They were on a really good home run, though, Watford. So they are difficult to beat at home. I might need a little bit of AMLO magic. Can you put on a magic show for us? It can be scheduled after the Irk show. Akin, bringing the ball forward down here. They are causing us issues, oh my word. The keeper collects. I am not enjoying watching this. Another set piece in the wide areas as well. It's very nearly another goal. I am concerned and a little puzzled. I'm going to make a change here. They're playing a very flat system, and I feel like just having a player in the gap is actually probably pretty beneficial here. So I'm going to go back to what we played last game. There were a few players that I could bring back into the team for this game, but I feel like just sticking with the same 11 that's match sharp was the way to go. Players like Sampaio, I might rush back in and start next game if I need to. Anyway, they've got to throw in here. Bolde to Johnson. Casanova whips in. They've hit the woodwork. Piotr, get it away. What is happening? What is happening? This is a game where we are just not showing up. I say all of that. We've seen all these Watford highlights. We actually have the higher XG. Just it doesn't really mean anything because none of the chances have actually been highlight worthy for us. You can see here they've not had a lot of opportunities. Just been bearing witness to them all. I'm going to change some stuff though, nevertheless. I want us to work the ball into the box, but I want us to be more direct and play at a higher tempo. I want less of these shots from range. And I really, really want to see us just craft out a couple of opportunities and take them. We have the quality. We just need to prove it. We just need to... How hard can it be to prove? In some ways, this draw here wouldn't be as disappointing as the draw against Leeds, which sounds absolutely mental to say aloud. 25 minutes left. I'm going to take off Irk. I'm going to bring in Marcelo and Stevie Secker out on the right for Smith, I think. Obviously, the injuries do not help in the attacking midfield department. I would love to have players like Gonzalez and Van Dijk on the pitch. I mean, Van Dijk has joint most assists in the team. He is a really critical way to the way in which we play, especially this system, playing as the shadow striker. What a weird game this has been, though. There's been barely any highlights in the second half. 16 minutes left, roughly. I say 6. I'm just making up the number of minutes of extra time. I'm going to guess 2. I've got one last sub. I could bring in Sampaio. Hernandez is on a booking. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to throw Sampaio on attack as well. And actually, I'm going to try something a bit different. Secker pressing forward, off-centering on the wide area, and then Tudor, players a Mazzala. Look at that. We're going asymmetric. Am I desperate? Am I just hoping that something magical can happen? Yes and yes. Is anything magical going to happen? Apparently not. I mean, the time is just trickling away here. We have been completely shut down in this game in such a weird match. That was bizarre. That was really, really bizarre. I mean, they ended the game strongly. To be honest, in changing stuff up, it didn't really work. Another game, though, where no one's turned up. It's really hard to, decipher a result like that because, well, you don't really know what's happened. I mean, what it means is, we kind of have to beat Man City. I can't be relying on Leeds United to do anything over Tottenham. For the last game against Man City, I have to change some stuff, I feel like. Erk's got a fitness concern. I'm sorry, Erk, mate. You're going to have to play this next game. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring in Sampaio. I'm going to bring in Navio at left back. I'm going to bring in some fresh legs out wide. I think I am going to stick with this system with the DM, but I'm actually going to play Hernandez in there, which is interesting. But I feel like, you know, because I played him at right back, you could pigeonhole him in there. But actually, as far as deep line playmakers go on defend, he's pretty good at the role. In at centre mid, I'm gonna change things up, I think, here a fair bit. I'm going to bring in Smith and Ricketts together. I mean, is Gonzalez going to be fit? 3 days. It's going to be a race. I think I might start Stevie Secker out on the right wing. But it's tough. And the thing that makes it difficult is just the fact that we have been so inconsistent. And we're matching teams in games. I don't feel like against Leeds we deserved to not win that game. And even that game against Watford, you know, they had a surge of set-piece chances. But we just never got going. We never got going. And it's difficult. It's difficult. Can I do a team meeting here? It feels like it'd be quite nice to do one. We're doing okay lately. They hated that. Okay, 2 of them hated it. Silva and Calafiori didn't like it. Everyone else, I mean, they agree. Wait, am I wrong? Did I might have ballsed it up. There was lots of green there. But then, so I thought they'd reacted well because green means good. But actually, they all hated it. So what we've learnt there is the user interface design is terrible and I should probably read the boxes. But reading whilst commentating is very difficult. Fun facts of the day. Oh, Man City. This is not the game that I wanted this to go down to, everyone. Away from home as well. I mean, Lind is showing great progress. He'd be a leading player for most Premier League teams. If only he could do it on the pitch. I will say, with his kind of 19 vision, his insane passing and stuff, I feel like he is going to end up being a really good kind of deep line playmaker in the defensive midfield position. It's a bit of a shame that compared to last year, FM20, where deep line playmakers were just absolutely bonkers. Don't feel like they're quite as good this year. I mean, I would love to have Van Dijk for this game. I mean, Virgil van Dijk or Al van Dijk, whichever one. Either one of them would be good at this point. Erk is making pleasing progress. Look at that. Is it going to be more green arrows? Of course it's going to be. The man cannot stop performing. If only he could grow a little bit. If only he could learn to jump. It's like one of the few weaknesses in his game. Right, final game of the season. We're starting it in 4th, but obviously because we're taking on Man City, absolutely anything could happen. I realise I've been preoccupied by Tottenham. Okay, good news. I was worried that I'm so preoccupied by Tottenham I hadn't acknowledged if Wolves maybe could actually leapfrog us, but they can't as things stand. So if we just look at the rules here, the kind of difference makers are goal differences, then goals scored. And I think our goal differences are the exact same, are they? They are, but we've scored more. So if Tottenham draw and we draw, we will stay above them. So Tottenham have to, I was going to say, Tottenham have to win, but if we lose, then they have to lose. Oh, it could come down to us losing by fewer goals than Tottenham lose to Leeds. I'm saying this with my head in my hands. This is not a good spot to be in. It's very deceptive. Oh, right. What happened last time we played Man City? We beat them 3-2, playing the 4-2-4. A 4-2-4 that I don't think I've used in a while. Do I work? Is it mad that I'm considering going back to the 4-2-4 that I used? Which was this. I can remember it because it wasn't that radical of a change. Would I be an idiot to do this? Ricketts and Hernandez at centre mid. Smith, Amlo, Secker. Really go for it? I think Hernandez needs to be on defend here with a 2-man midfield. I mean, the only counter-argument I can think for it is I've not tested it enough, but the familiarity is not too bad. I feel like this year I've not really settled on a system, and that is very much on me, but it's been difficult to settle on a system because a lot of big players I planned on building around just haven't been fit. I mean, one shred of kind of silver lining and hope here actually is the fact that Gonzalez is fit. So that does give us a option on the bench. He can play 45 minutes. I mean, to be missing Gonzalez and Van Dijk, our best two kind of forwards. I know Amlo on the pitch performs better, but to be missing our kind of best two players for this end of season run, I feel like it's kind of shown in these last two games where we've not had quite the same strength to come off the bench. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to play the 4-4-2. I don't think there's much to lose here. This is such a tough game against Man City. We used this previously. It's a brave formation, two strikers, skimping out a little bit on the midfield. I might actually go a little more direct for this game. But honestly, I feel like if I played what we've been playing, it's not going to work. I would rather go out and try and, seize a result here, albeit away from home against Pep Guardiola's Man City. Just going to change some instructions right away. I want us to be more direct. And also, let's try and work the ball into the box more. We've been wasteful in these two games this episode. I'd like to see a win. I would love to see a win. Remember when I was talking about a 1-0 up against Leeds, the fact, we've not had a convincing win in a while in a live com. The weight is going on, everyone. Anyway, playing this I guess it's a 4-4-2 really, although you could argue it's a 4-2-4. But in defence, you can kind of see the players do tuck back fairly deep to kind of track runners. Oh my word. Hassani, big ball over. Toby, big save. Not a sentence I've said much today. I don't mean to throw shade at you, Toby. You've been missing, mate. Like the invisible man. Cherky's got injured early on, so that is one sub they've had to use. The fact they've got Florentino Luis in their midfield is a bit scary. He's very good in Football Manager. The Portuguese youngster. Right, I mean, a slow start. Is it a start worth getting shouty at them about? I'm going to say yes. If I remember correctly, the win against Man City was quite fortuitous. There was own goals involved in our favour. Anyway, ball switched over here. We are on the back foot early on, which probably shouldn't strike us as much of a surprise. Lamptey with it in the wide area. Back, edge of the box. Missed header. That is critical. A huge tackle comes in, though. Was that Sampaio with that? I think it was. Still not dealt with, though. Lamptey, Larson. They've got us penned in on the edge of our own 18-yard box. It's a big tackle there by Smith. I think that was coming back. This is not what I want to see. Lamptey with the ball under his feet. Whips in. Piotr, big header. That's one area of our game we might be stronger in. Aerial ability, set pieces. Amlo bringing it forward. Need magic, Amlo. I need magic. Claim the penalty. Shout at the referee. Go to VAR. It's been a difficult start to the game. Tottenham currently winning as well. I feel like instead of the visualiser, latest scores might be in order. Of course, if Tottenham win, we have to win. So if they start stuffing Leeds, it kind of makes my job a little more simpler in terms of decision-making of what I need to do. As it stands, it's 1-0 via a Romero goal for them. Of course, if we draw and they draw, that would be enough for us. Unfortunately, Leeds not doing us a favour, but here it's 0-0. I mean, they've had chances. We've not really had chances. I feel like it's... And this might be controversial. It might be a case of just looking to hit them on the break and lumping it forward to our big men up top. I'm going to take off Seka. And I'm going to bring in Gonzalez as well at half-time. Gonzalez, you joined us in January. It'd be fair to say you've not made a splash yet, although I will say injuries have hindered that. There's a time to make yourself a cult hero. If there's a day to prove that you justified the price tag that I made the board pay for you, this is the game to do it in. Hernandez on a booking scares me. Lamptey with it. Inside. Larson now. Fiorentino Luis out wide to... I guess that's Alphonso Davies there. He's pretty good, isn't he? Do not foul him. That is a great tackle by Sampaio. But the ref is pointing to the spot. I mean, it looked perfectly good. I thought it was fine. I mean, Football Manager, please, no penalty. It never says no penalty. I've made my... It's a penalty, isn't it? It's going to be a penalty. It's the theme of the day. He's not given it. He has given it. Please, Toby. He saves it. The drama. The drama. Oh, my word. What is happening? Toby saves a penalty. I thought it was not given. He looked like, with his body language, he said no penalty with his hands. It's been given, but the penalty's been blooming saved. Leeds, help me. Help me, Leeds United. Lehman back post. Hit from range. I'm gonna go cautious. I never go cautious. Why not be different today? Also, subs. Dr. Medj on for Hernandez, who's on a booking. Oh dear. We've not shown up here. We are playing for a draw, which is not really what we can do here with Tottenham winning. There's going to come a point very soon where I have to change things up. And the time has come, everyone. The time has come. We've tried to hold the fort. I've gone cautious. I never go cautious. That's why. I'm going to have to win this game. And sadly, with our squad a little bit depleted, our recent form, I'm not truly believing. I'm going to bring in Marcelo at shadow striker. Erk and Gonzalez I'm going to put onto attack. I'm going to put the wing backs onto attack as well. I feel like at this point we've kind of got to go for it a little bit. Going to go with two slightly more defensively minded midfield roles in the deep line playmaker and ball winning midfielder. I mean, going more attacking against Man City. Away from home in any Football Manager save is a risk. But at this point, we have to. Unless your Leeds United are going to beat Tottenham, which I don't see happening. But Leeds, I'm still looking over at your game thinking I need you to do us a favour because we are not doing anything here. Navio, I mean, a long throw. Surely not. It's launched forward. Brandt collects. Of course he collects. It was a great save by the keeper. He lumps it forward. Tarasov with it. I mean, their team is very good. I don't want Europa League football, everyone. No one wants Europa League football. We need a hero. We need someone to come out the woodwork now. Gonzalez, £52 million. What can you do for us? He skips past his man. Can he pull it back? He's going on his own. And he hits it into the side netting. Am I watching FM20? Am I watching FM20? Leeds, come on, Leeds. It's 2-0 Tottenham. We have to get two. And I don't want to sound defeatist, everyone. Don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. We've got to just go more direct, higher tempo. Out of possession. I mean, we're already doing kind of everything that we can do here. Distribute over the defence. Do it quickly. Just slide everything to the right at this point. We need a hero. Sampaio, Marcelo, Gonzalez. Sampaio. Options in the middle. Ricketts. Dinked. Badiashile heads it away. Keep it alive, boys. Keep it alive. Sampaio. Channel your inner Regina. Channel it. Ricketts. Whips it. Marcelo. He's offside. It's barely crossed the line. I wasn't sure if it had crossed the line. It's offside. It's an incredible header for the finish as well. But I knew right away that it was offside. I mean, let's have a look at this. The header itself, by the way, I think it hit the crossbar twice. He wasn't offside. The other player was offside, but he wasn't interfering. Oh, there is 4 minutes. We need 2 goals. I mean, there is no time, everyone. I don't want to sound defeatist. I think it might be over. Just go forward, lads. go forward. Yeah, at this point, I'm going to be honest, everyone. We need 2 goals in 4 minutes, so we're probably going to concede another here, but I have absolutely just got to go for this here. They've got a corner. I've moved the wing-backs forward. Neither of them can actually play in the wing-back position, but they'll learn it. They'll learn it today with this. 4 minutes of added time. We've given them a really good game. We've defended well. Yes, we've given up a lot of opportunities. But sadly for us, I think it's all going to come undone. As we're going to crash out. And it's not this game that's lost us it. It's the game against Leeds. It's the game against Watford. Vanished on the big stage. Toby, man of the match for us. Oh, that is gutting. That is gutting. The Watford game we didn't turn up for at all, to be honest. Like, it was an even game, but we went down early on and never scored. And I can rue the fact that our 2 big transfers this year were injured for the last kind of running of the year, but it's a squad depth game. Oh dear. That's just hard to take. Hard to take. You can have your rest now, mate. Chelsea crowned champions on the final day of the season. They were already champions. So I mean, they're crowned champions again. Well done. £34 million Europa League, everyone. I mean, next season is probably going to be shorter than this one in terms of episodes. I feel like this year we had a lot of episodes. First exciting adventure in Europe. To get to the quarter-final of the Champions League is a really great achievement. But obviously, the goals dried up here. We tried out 3 different systems for every game. None of them really worked. I say that. The result against Man City wasn't that bad. I knew that we needed to have it wrapped up before then, and sadly, we did not. Anyway, as I said, next episode, we're going to go through all the end-of-season stuff. So if you've got any questions, leave them down below. The board are not very happy. How long's my contract got left on it? It's got 1 more year. Oh, God, can you imagine? I probably shouldn't have promised Champions League football. That's tomorrow's problem. Yeah, going to wrap things up there for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. 37 minutes long, a little longer than I would like it normally to be, but that's sometimes the way these things go. I hope you enjoyed the 100% live format. I don't know if I'll do this very often. It just makes the videos a little bit too long, in my opinion, but sometimes it helps to build suspense like today, and there's always little bits that I perhaps forget to neglect. I neglect and forget to mention in previous episodes or during episodes that pops into my mind when I'm doing it kind of live like this. Either way, gang, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. I will be back tomorrow with a full, formal end-of-season wrap-up. Get your comments down below for that, and I will see you guys next time. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.